Today we're taking a heart opening flow. So what I mean when I say heart opening is we're going to be opening and stretching the front of the body, this area of the chest, a little bit of strengthening in the back, some back bending, so allowing you to really breathe deep into the lungs to help to improve the posture and get you nice and energized as well. So when you're ready, we'll begin in a comfortable seat, cross-legged this time. So find a place either with one shin in front of the other or with the ankles crossed, where you feel that you can be comfortable here for a few minutes. So it might take a little while to find your comfortable seat. It's different for everybody. You want to be in a place ideally where the hips are lower than or in line with the hips. So this does mean that you have to raise the hips up, maybe sit on a block or a rolled up folded blanket rather. Something that will elevate the hips, and that's just going to allow this tilt in the pelvis to give you a little bit more room for the hips here to be comfortable. Otherwise you'll start to find that it gets quite uncomfortable after a few minutes. So coming into your comfortable cross-leg position, you have a moment now to grab anything you might need if you want to pause and come back. When you get here, find somewhere you can sit up nice and tall. Lengthen through the back of the neck, so slight tuck in the chin, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. And we'll do one roll of the shoulders, and as you exhale, allow them to soften down. Wonderful. You can close the eyes here if you wish. Maybe place the hands on the knees, maybe upturned in the lap, just wherever feels comfortable. Start to check in with the body, see how you're feeling today. Are there any areas that feel particularly tight or tense? And see how the body's energy is. Do you feel lethargic? Do you feel full of energy and raring to go? There is no wrong way to be, but however you do feel, just be mindful of this as you move through your practice. And take your awareness up into your mind. Our minds are often very busy. We have thousands of thoughts each day bouncing around in there. It's very normal for thoughts to come and go during your yoga practice, but here we aim to let them drift by without holding on to them, without paying them any attention. So if you do find that your mind wanders, simply notice it and bring your attention back to the breath. The breath is the most important part of yoga. Spend a few moments here observing your natural breath. In and out through the nose if you can. Noticing the rise and fall of the chest, the feeling of the air as it moves through your nostrils. And then begin to lengthen the breath, deepening each inhale and exhale. Breathing slow and steady down into the belly, but never straining or forcing. We very rarely use much of the capacity of the lungs at all when we go through our day breathing and not even thinking about it. We only use a small part of what the lungs are actually capable of. And this heart opening practice today will help to bring more oxygen into the body, more of that life force. Now, either keeping your eyes closed, or if you prefer, maybe blink them gently open. Start to turn the head from side to side, nice and slow, nice and gentle. You don't have to turn too far, particularly if you're doing this in the morning. The body might still be quite stiff, quite tight. And then come to center. On your next inhale, gently raise the gaze up, lifting the chin. And exhale, take the gaze down, tuck the chin to the chest, feeling a stretch through the back of the neck. Inhale, lift the gaze up. And exhale, chin to chest. We'll take a couple more of these. The shoulders are still relaxed down. Last one here. And after your exhale, bring the head back to center. Place the hands on the knees if they're not already there. We're going to take a few seated cat-cow curls. So finding that tall sitting position, shoulders are relaxed down, length through the back of the neck, and the crown of the head reaches towards the sky. On your next inhale, move the chest forward, arching the back, and take the gaze up. And exhale, scoot back, rounding the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, shift the chest forward, opening through the heart space, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Take a few more here. I'll let you work at your own pace with your own breath. You can really use the hands here to help that movement. Just go as far as you're comfortable. Try to really feel that movement in the spine. That connection with the breath as you inhale and exhale on each movement. Good, we'll take one more. And after your next exhale, return to center. This time as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale to twist to the right. So the left hand comes to the outside of the right knee, and the right hand is going to come to the floor behind you. Maybe gazing over that right shoulder. Inhale to come back to center, raising the arms. And exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to the outside of the left knee, the left hand comes behind. Inhale to come to center. And exhale, twist right. Really feeling that twist coming from the core of the body. It doesn't matter how far the head moves. Inhale to center. Exhale left. The head might not turn very far at all, but it's not a twist in the neck that we're looking for. Inhale, come to center. We'll take one more on each side. Again, feeling that connection between the breath and the body. Working at your own pace. Deep breaths. When you've finished, exhale to release the hands down. I'm going to come through to all fours. So roll over the knees. Bring the knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Take a moment to find your alignment. We all have different length arms and spines and legs. Spread the fingers wide. Tops of the feet are against the mat here. The spine is neutral. Walk the hands forward slightly, so the arms are at a bit more of an angle. On your next exhale, start to sit the hips back as if you're going into child's pose. Doesn't matter if you don't get all the way down, because we're not going to be here very long. On your next inhale, come back up to that all-fours position. And as you exhale, continue to shift the hips forward as we roll down onto the belly, bending the elbows and down. And as you inhale, hooking the elbows in towards the midline, lift the head and shoulders into baby cobra. And exhale, release it down and push back to child's pose. Good, let's go again. Inhale up to all fours. Exhale, continue to roll forward, elbows stay hooked into the body as they bend and you come down. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders, baby cobra, still hugging the elbows in, chest moves forward, hands planted firmly. Exhale, release it down, press back to child's pose. We've got two more here. Inhale to come up to all fours. Exhale, keep on going down. You don't have to keep time with me if I'm going too fast or too slow for your breath. Move at your own pace. Inhale, baby cobra, open through the chest, gaze is forward. Exhale, release down, press back to child's pose, last one here. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, roll down. Inhale to our last baby cobra, maybe lift a little higher. And exhale, release, press back to child's pose. Pause here for a breath. And on the next inhale, come on back up to that all fours position. Return the wrists underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide, press down. This time take the awareness down into the left hand. Ground down here, pressing into that hand and lifting through the left shoulder. As you inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky, return the chest open to the right. Exhale, sweep that right hand down. It's going to continue underneath the left armpit as you bend that left arm and bring the back of the right hand and that right shoulder down to the mat. You can rest the right cheek down. And soften into that stretch to the outside of the right shoulder. You can use this left hand to support here. Allows you to control a little bit how deep you go into that shoulder stretch. If you'd like to go a bit deeper, maybe start to walk that left hand towards the top of the mat. You'll start to feel a bit of a stretch of the chest as well. Gently pressing into the back of the right hand, the hand that's on the front in front of you on the mat. It's hard to explain which one's which one's which when you're at this kind of angle, and you know which one's which when they're both on the mat. So pressing into that right hand is going to help to move the chest round a little bit. If you want to get even more of a chest stretch, bring that left hand on top of the right, so that they're in a kind of prayer position. And inhale to lift the left arm. The most important thing in this posture is that we're thinking about opening the chest, so moving that top shoulder back behind in whichever position you're in. Good, breathing deep. Nose come down if it gets too much. And then exhale, bend that left elbow, bring the left hand back underneath that bent elbow. Press into the left hand as you inhale, lift up, reaching that right arm back towards the sky. And exhale, come back down to all fours. Beautiful. We're going to move that over to the other side. So let's take a deep inhale here. Notice how you feel. Exhale. And press into that right hand, spread the fingers wide. Lift through the right shoulders. You inhale, left fingertips reach up towards the sky. Exhale, sweep that left hand down. It's going to continue to come around underneath that right armpit as the back of the hand and the left shoulder come down to the mat. Rest the head down. And again, the right hand can stay on the mat here for support. If you prefer, you can walk it up towards the top of the mat to feel more of a stretch through the shoulders. Thinking about rolling the chest open, moving that top shoulder back, maybe gently pressing into the back of the left hand. And if you like to take it even further, bring the right hand to meet the left in prayer, and inhale to open the chest, reach that right hand towards the sky. And the breath may be a little bit more difficult in this position, but you should still be able to breathe deeply and steadily. If you're finding it really difficult to breathe, just come back down a level. One more breath here. And exhale. If that hand is up, bring the right hand down towards the mat. Inhale, press into the right hand as you lift up. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. And exhale, bring that left hand back down to the mat. Beautiful. I'm going to scoot forward for the next one. So again, plant firmly into those hands. Tuck the toes under, and this time I'm going to send the left foot back behind. Pressing out through that heel, so we're going to stretch through the calf at the back of that left leg. And then spin that left foot, so the heel is going to come down. We're on the inside of that left foot as you bring it down to the mat. Now, if this is uncomfortable for the knee here, you can place a folded up blanket underneath, kind of a flat cushion just to help give the knees a little bit of support in these positions. And if you're feeling a bit wobbly, maybe take that right foot a little bit further back. Right wrist rather is underneath the shoulder. And then come up onto the fingertips of that left hand. See how you feel here. So pressing down into that right hand, lifting through the shoulder. Draw in the core to help keep you stable. So drawing the belly button in towards the spine, engaging that core. Maybe see how it feels to lift that left hand. So coming into a modified side plank. So working on a little bit of that core strength. It's in a place where we've got this knee down, so we've got quite a little bit of support as well. Try not to lock out that right elbow. So we're relying on the muscles rather than the joint being locked in place to help keep us stable. And if your hand is raised and you're quite comfortable up here, maybe try extending those left fingertips forward to the front of the mat. And really lift through the left side of the body. So you're feeling a stretch along the left side. Making this beautiful curve, so think like a rainbow, all the way from that left foot up and over to those left fingertips. Beautiful. Breathing deep. And inhale to bring that hand back to center. From here, really hug that core and see how it feels to lift the left foot. You can always bring the left hand to the hip here if that helps you to balance. So you come into a kneeling half moon. So working on a little bit of the strength here in the glutes and the outer thighs. Good, deep breaths. Core is active, it's engaged, helping you to balance. You can take the gaze forward, maybe down towards that bottom hand if that's easier for you. I do encourage you to challenge yourself a little bit. One more breath here. And exhale, come down. Bring that left hand back down. Turn the left foot back to face forward. Feet are going to come, or knees are going to come back underneath the hips, and you can take a break in child's pose here if you need to. Just take a moment to sit the hips back towards the heels, rest the forehead down, maybe give the hips a little swish from side to side. Very nice. And inhale back to all fours. Take a moment to line up, knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, and this time send the right foot back. Pressing away through that heel. Feeling a stretch through the calf. And then spin that right heel down. So the inside of that right foot is against the mat. I'm going to turn to come down onto the sole of that foot. Check in with your balance here. Maybe you like to turn that left foot out a little. So the more you have the body in one straight line, the more difficult it's going to be to balance. So if you really want to work your balance, you can keep that left foot in line with the right heel. But by moving it out, it's going to give you a little bit more stability. Left hand is underneath the left shoulder, fingers are wide, press down here, lifting through that left shoulder and coming up onto the right fingertips, see how it feels. If your balance is feeling quite good, maybe you want to open up, reaching that right hand up towards the ceiling. Again here, you can keep your gaze down, you can take it forward or maybe up to that right hand. Deep breath. Then open that right palm to the front of the mat. And inhale to reach up and over. So lifting out through the right side of the body. So rather than keeping this straight line, imagine someone is pulling you up from your midsection. Making that beautiful rainbow, reaching all the way over from that right foot that's grounded down into the mat, up and over to those right fingertips. Think of those beautiful colours shining out all the way through the body. Wonderful. Couple more breaths here. And then maybe you'd like to try that kneeling half moon. The right hand either comes back to its position straight above the shoulder, or you can take a hand to the right hip to help you balance. And inhale to lift that right foot. So ideally you want the foot here to be in line with the hips, but you can always just try hovering it off the mat. And maybe eventually work up to bringing it into a straight line. Maybe raising that right hand. You can always put it back down if it gets too much. Again, the gaze here can be up, down, or forward. Wonderful. Flexing that right foot if it's lifted. One more breath. And exhale, come down. Well done. back to all fours. And exhale, toes together, knees wide, come back to child's pose. Release the forehead down here. If you want to break for the shoulders, you can take the hands back towards the feet. Give the hips a swish from side to side. Deep breath in. And exhale. On your next inhale, reach the hands forward, look towards the front of the mat, lift up towards that all fours position and carry on coming through, bringing the hips down as you come onto the belly. So hands here are either side of the chest. You can rest the forehead down if you want a little bit of a break here. Tops of the feet are against the mat. You can either be together or apart, your choice. We're going to look a little bit at our cobra. So as we did with that child's pose flow at the beginning, you're going to hug the elbows into the body as you inhale, lift the head off the mat. The shoulders and chest lift. We're not coming up too far to begin with, and if this is already feeling a little bit too much for you, you can come into Sphinx with the forearms down on the mat. Still getting a back bend there. So a really important part of chest opening is strengthening the back. So strengthening the back allows us to stretch the muscles of the front of the body. It allows the shoulders to pull back. We spend so much of our time in our modern lives with the shoulders hunched forward. It's just how society has made us with our computers and our phones. Do come on down if you need a rest from this one. And if it's uncomfortable to hold, you can actually flow this one out as well, exhaling to come down and inhaling to lift. So it's your choice whether you hold the posture or add a little bit of movement, a bit of dynamic motion. So our gaze is forward here, or if it's more comfortable, you can gaze down towards the top of the mat or the floor in front of you. Again, think about moving the chest forward, so creating this smooth curve in the spine. So back bends are really great for our posture, as I said, because they do allow the shoulders to draw back out of that hunched position, allow more space for the chest to open. Last couple of breaths here. Maybe press into the hands, go a little higher, no locking out the elbows though. And exhale, come down, make a little pillow, the arms or the hands for the head. If you like here, you can raise the feet up, swish them from side to side, or release for the lower back. And return the feet to centre, release them back down to the mat. Bring the hands either side of the chest, one more time. And press back to child's pose. The toes come together, knees are nice and wide. Walk the hands forward, allowing the chest to come down. Release the forehead down to the mat. Now if your forehead doesn't make it all the way down to the mat, and this is putting strain on your neck, you can place a cushion or a block or a folded blanket underneath the forehead for support. You can either take the hands back behind towards the feet to completely rest the shoulders, or keep them forward in extended child's pose and feel a gentle release through the shoulders. Breathing deep. Child's pose is a really comforting place to be. The wider you have the knees, the more you'll be able to find space for the chest and the belly to breathe deeply. But if this is uncomfortable for your hips, you might prefer to have the knees closer together. On your next inhale, lift the head, start to walk the hands back towards the body. Bring the knees in together if they're wide, and slowly lift up to seated. Take a moment here to breathe, be with yourself, see how you feel after that practice. Do you feel different to when you started? Part of the journey of yoga is curiosity and learning and building this relationship with your body and knowing what works for it, what doesn't, and being curious about how you feel and how your practice affects you. On your next inhale, sweep the arms above the head. Bring the palms of the hands together, maybe look to the thumbs if it's comfortable. And exhale, bring the palms down to heart center. Pause here for a breath. And then lifting the head. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.